When you open your eyes each morning, you're not owed that moment. You've been granted it. Life just handed you another chance, and most people waste it before their feet even touch the floor. You're not one of them, not anymore. You will not start your day as a slave to notifications, noise, and mental clutter. You'll start as a soldier of awareness. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to love." That isn't poetic fluff. It's a command to sharpen your focus. Gratitude is not a mood. It's discipline. It's how you take control of your mind before the world hijacks it. If you don't seize that first minute, the day will own you. Gratitude is your first defense, your mental armor against entitlement, distraction, and weakness. Breathe. Remember, you're alive. Now act like it. Most people wake up already defeated. They grab their phone, scroll mindlessly, and hand their peace to the chaos before they've even spoken to themselves. Don't be like them. The Stoics warned that if you don't command your thoughts will command you. Carl Jung said it best. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Every morning you have a choice, to lead your mind or be led by it. If your first thoughts are stress, regret, or distraction, you're setting the tone for failure. Gratitude cuts through that noise like a blade. It pulls you out of autopilot and places you firmly in the present. You stop reacting and start directing. Because let's face it, life can turn upside down in a second. A phone call, a loss, an unexpected hit. Nothing is guaranteed. That's why gratitude isn't soft. It's survival. It's the mental reset that separates the awake from the asleep. When you finally understand that nothing is promised, gratitude stops being a morning habit and becomes a mindset forged in steel. The world doesn't owe you another sunrise, yet here it is. So before you reach for your phone or your worries, reach inward. 3 deep breaths, slow, controlled, present. Feel the air move through your chest. Place your hand on your heart if you need to remind yourself that it still beats. Say it clearly. I'm grateful to be here, not because life is perfect, but because you still have the chance to shape it. This isn't spiritual fluff. It's focus training. Socrates said, "The unexamined life is not worth living." But what if examination isn't only about questioning? What if it's about awareness? The courage to be fully present, because presence is power. You don't need fancy rituals or perfect conditions. You need clarity, one pure thought. This moment is enough. That's where real strength begins. Most people think power comes from control, from forcing the world to move their way. But real control begins inside. You can't master the day if you can't master the moment you wake. Gratitude sharpens that mastery. It clears the fog from your mind before it poisons your purpose. You start seeing the difference between motion and meaning. Between rushing and rising, pressure makes you reactive. Purpose makes you precise. The Stoics didn't chase peace. They built it, one decision at a time. When you begin your morning from stillness, the noise loses its grip. The world becomes easier to navigate because you're grounded. You're not hunting for calm, you are calm. That's the paradox of discipline. The more structure you give your mind, the more freedom you feel. So when you wake, don't reach outward, reach inward, anchor yourself. Because the one who commands his morning commands his fate. When you start your day with gratitude, you stop searching for peace because you've already built it. It's like tuning your inner frequency before stepping into the noise of the world. Once you're aligned, chaos can't reach you the same way. The traffic, the interruptions, the delays, they stop owning your emotions. You're not reacting from lack, you're responding from strength. Aristotle said, "Happiness depends upon ourselves." He didn't mean self-indulgence, he meant self-command. The way you begin shapes the way you endure. The tone you set in the morning becomes the rhythm of your day. Most people surrender those first few moments to stress, and then wonder why they feel off balance. You won't. You'll begin like a soldier at dawn, focused, grounded, disciplined. Those first minutes are sacred. Guard them like your life depends on it. Because in a way, it does. The first few seconds after you wake up are the most powerful window of your entire day. Your mind is open, your defenses are down, and whatever you feed it becomes your mental fuel. Most people pour poison in that space, scrolling, comparing, worrying, and then they wonder why the day feels heavy. Don't do that. Speak power into that silence. Set your direction before the noise sets it for you. Those quiet moments are not empty. They're training. They're your chance to remind your brain who's in charge. If you wake up anxious, overwhelmed, or lost. It's because you've let your unconscious take the wheel. Stoicism exists to stop that. It's not ancient dust, it's a living practice. The Stoics train their minds every morning like warriors sharpen their blades. Because how you begin is how you build. Discipline starts before the world demands it. And when you control the start, you control the storm. You don't need a perfect morning routine. You need control. Control over your attention, your breathing, your first thought. That's where strength is built, in those invisible moments when nobody's watching. The Stoics didn't pray for easy mornings. They trained for difficult ones. Marcus Aurelius woke to cold, duty, and pressure, but still began with discipline, not dread. So, should you? The average person opens their eyes and immediately loses focus to the digital storm. You, on the other hand, begin with a command. I will master my mind before the world reaches for it. That's not motivational fluff. It's mental combat. Every scroll, every distraction, every random worry that enters your head is a test. Either you pass by staying centered, or you fail by reacting. The choice is yours. Every single dawn, no one will save your focus for you. You either build it or lose it. Every morning is a battlefield. Your mind wakes up clean, but the world comes charging in. Headlines, messages, unfinished tasks, regrets. Most people surrender instantly. They react instead of respond. But a Stoic doesn't bow to chaos. He prepares for it. The first minute is your shield, your silent stand against the flood. You can't stop the world from screaming, but you can decide how loud it gets inside you. Marcus Aurelius wrote that, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." That sentence is everything. You can't control outcomes, but you can control your outlook. You can choose stillness over panic, order over noise. When your attention is disciplined, peace isn't a gift, it's a skill. So before the day drags you into distraction, plant your flag. Tell yourself clearly, I control my mind. Because if you don't claim it, someone else will. The truth is, if you don't seize your thoughts at sunrise, you've already lost half the day. Most people live like hostages to their own impulses, reacting to everything, mastering nothing. But you're here to break that pattern. You're not just awake, you're aware. This is your edge. Carl Jung said, "Who looks outside? Dreams. Who looks inside? Awakens." That's the difference between existence and mastery. Stop chasing the next notification, the next dopamine hit, the next distraction that pretends to be important. Look inward, sit still for 1 minute, breathe, let your thoughts rise, watch them, and refuse to serve them. That is Stoic meditation in its purest form, not escape. But command, you are not your thoughts. You are the one giving them permission. The moment you realize that, you begin to lead your mind instead of being led by it. Sit still for 60 seconds and you'll see how chaotic your mind really is. Thoughts rush in like an army, memories, fears, tasks, doubts. But you don't fight them, you observe them. Like clouds passing through the sky, you let them move without reaction. That's power, that's training. Every time you choose awareness over impulse, you strengthen your command center. Plato once said, "The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself." That's not philosophy, it's survival. Because if you can't master your inner world, you'll be destroyed by the outer one. Your emotions, your urges, your fears, they all want control. But you decide who wins. Each morning, you step into the arena of your own mind. Don't come unarmed. Your breath is your weapon. Your awareness is your armor. And your focus, your unshakable focus, is your sword. You're not fighting the world. You're fighting the part of yourself that keeps surrendering to it. Every time you let anxiety, distraction, or doubt run your morning, you hand over your power. That's not fate, that's a decision. And every decision builds or breaks your mental strength. Stoicism teaches that mastery begins in awareness, not comfort, not control, but awareness. The average person avoids their own mind because it's uncomfortable to face. But that's exactly where your power hides. Sit with it. Watch the thoughts. Don't run. Don't fix. Just observe. The moment you can stand still in your own storm without flinching, you've already won. You've separated yourself from the noise. You've proven that your emotions may visit, but they don't command. That's Stoic discipline in motion. Calm under fire, control under chaos, power under pressure. When the storm rises in your mind, your instinct will be to fight it, but the Stoic way is to face it. Don't suppress your emotions. Command them. Don't deny your fear. Define it. Marcus Aurelius faced death, betrayal, an endless responsibility. Yet he wrote, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Read that again. You control the interpretation, not the event. That's the power everyone ignores. You can't stop difficulty from knocking on your door, but you can decide how you answer it. The one who keeps his inner order can walk through fire and stay composed. Most people crumble under small inconveniences because they've trained for comfort. Not for challenge, but not you. You're here to train for chaos, because a disciplined mind is untouchable. Picture this clearly. You wake up, and before standing, you imagine dropping a heavy backpack filled with everything that no longer serves you. Regret, guilt, anger, all of it hits the floor. You exhale, and for the first time in days, your chest feels light. That's not fantasy, that's focus. The mind responds to what you visualize. The Stoics understood that mental imagery trains the soul. If you can see yourself letting go, you can begin to live it. Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do." Excellence, then, is not an act but a habit. Letting go is a habit too, a muscle you strengthen through repetition. Do it every morning. Release, reset, rise, because the one who releases fast adapts fast. And in a chaotic world, adaptability is dominance. Stop rehearsing the past. The only script that matters is the one you write today. Every morning gives you two options. Repeat what broke you or rebuild from what taught you. The weak replay the past like a broken record. The strong record something new. It's not about pretending nothing hurt. It's about refusing to stay hurt. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That truth separates those who grow from those who decay. You can't change the event, but you can master your interpretation. Every time you choose reflection over reaction, you harden your spirit. That's Stoic resilience, the ability to remain unshaken in a shaking world. Let go of the fantasy that healing means forgetting. Healing means remembering without reliving. It means you stop feeding the memory more pain. So, when yesterday's thoughts come knocking, you don't argue. You simply don't answer. The mind loves to replay what went wrong. It feeds on unfinished stories. But discipline means knowing when to stop the story. Most people think they're reflecting when they're really relapsing into thought. They call it processing. But it's rumination, disguised as progress. A Stoic doesn't drown in memory. He studies it, extracts the lesson, then burns the rest. You can't carry the ashes of your old fire into a new morning. That's not wisdom. That's weight. Every minute spent arguing with yesterday is stolen from today's strength. The warrior mindset isn't about denying pain. It's about not giving it power. You face it once. You learn, then you move. That's emotional discipline. So tomorrow, when regret comes whispering, remind it, I've already learned from you. You can leave now. Letting go isn't forgetting, it's commanding. It's you telling your nervous system, we're done reliving that scene. The moment you release, your body follows, shoulders drop, breath slows, focus returns. That's not spiritual, it's biological. You're training your mind to stop recycling suffering. Picture it. Each thought of regret is a stone, and you've been carrying a bag full of them. Every morning, you get to decide, keep dragging it, or drop it. The Stoics dropped it. They understood that a cluttered mind can't see clearly, and clarity is the foundation of strength. Aristotle said, the beginning is the most important part of the work, so start here. Begin clean. Don't let yesterday's residue stain today's discipline. A sharp sword doesn't cut through fog, it slices through air. That's what a clear mind feels like. Light, direct, unstoppable. Stop treating every day like a continuation of your worst memory. That mindset is the real prison. The past had its turn, now it's yours. Most people drag yesterday's failure into today and call it preparation. But it's just fear disguised as caution. The Stoics didn't waste mornings replaying what couldn't be undone. They focused on what could still be directed. Seneca said, every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. So, end what needs ending. You can't start clean while holding the dirt. Say it aloud. Yesterday had its chance. Today is mine. That declaration isn't denial, it's direction. You're not running from your story. You're writing the next chapter. And that's how discipline looks in real life. Less dwelling, more deciding. Because a clear mind isn't given, it's built. One release, one breath, one deliberate sunrise at a time. It's easy to believe life is spinning out of control, but most chaos is internal. Your environment isn't your enemy, your undisciplined mind is. You can't control every event, but you can control your interpretation, your breath, your next move. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." That realization is your turning point. Every morning gives you a small window of silence before the storm. That's your chance to take command. Because once the noise begins, messages, calls, responsibilities, it's already too late if you haven't anchored yourself. That silence at sunrise is your training ground. Use it. Sit with your breath. Build your inner command post before stepping into battle. The world may be loud, but your calm can be louder if you choose it. When the world starts screaming for your attention, remember, not everything deserves a reaction. You don't have to attend every argument, answer every ping, or chase every thought. Power is restraint. Control isn't found in noise. It's forged in silence. Jung said, "Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens." Each morning, you stand at that threshold, between dreaming and awakening, between chaos and clarity. Most people never cross it. They drown in distractions before they've even decided who they want to be today. Not you. You wake up, breathe deep, and choose awareness over autopilot. That's your discipline. That's your rebellion against the world's addiction to reaction. The strongest man isn't the one who dominates the room. It's the one who doesn't let the room dominate his mind. Before the day begins, look inward. That's where your command center is. Protect it at all costs. Take 1 full minute each morning to sit in silence. No phone, no music, no movement, just you, your breath, and your awareness. It's harder than it sounds because silence exposes you. It forces you to confront what's really going on in your head. Most people run from that confrontation, numbing themselves with noise, but you're here to face it. That's where strength is built. In the Stoic sense, mastery isn't about escaping thoughts. It's about observing them without surrender. Breathe in slowly. Breathe out slower. Feel your body return to command. Every inhale is discipline entering. Every exhale is chaos leaving. This is your daily mental drill. The mind, like muscle, needs resistance to grow. So when distractions rise, don't fight them. Outlast them. Watch, breathe, return. That repetition is how you train your mind to obey. That space between stimulus and response, that tiny pause, is where all your power lives. Most people never use it. They react instantly, letting their impulses write the story. But that pause, that's where the Stoic lives. It's where you choose your response instead of being ruled by emotion. The moment you notice your thoughts racing, stop, breathe, observe the gap. That silence between trigger and reaction is the birthplace of mastery. Marcus Aurelius faced constant chaos and still wrote, "You can always control your opinion." That's not metaphor, it's a method. You don't need to control the world. You only need to control how you interpret it. Every time you respond with calm instead of panic, you're rewiring your mind for strength. Discipline isn't about suppressing feelings. It's about redirecting energy toward what actually matters. Don't underestimate that small moment between waking and acting. That's where your future is built. Before the world demands your attention, decide who you'll be. That's not theory, it's neuroscience. The first thoughts you feed your brain shape its chemistry for hours. If you start with gratitude, discipline, and calm, your brain follows that pattern. Start with stress, distraction, or complaint, and it becomes your operating system. Epictetus warned, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom begins in your head, not in your circumstances. So, when your mind starts racing, slow it. When fear starts whispering, silence it. You are the gatekeeper of your thoughts. Nothing enters without your permission. That's real control. That's how warriors of the mind prepare. You can't control the day, but you can control the direction your first breath takes. The more you train your mornings, the less the world can move you. Every sunrise is a mental gym session, and your focus is the muscle. Most people walk into their day untrained, scrolling, worrying, reacting to every sound. They think it's normal, but it's weakness disguised as routine. The Stoics didn't wait for peace, they built it. They didn't rely on motivation, they relied on method. You build the same by repeating your ritual. Breathe, anchor, affirm, I control my mind. I lead my thoughts. I decide my state. Say it like you mean it. Not as a mantra, but as a command. Your subconscious listens. Every repetition rewires your neural pathways to obey discipline instead of distraction. Modern psychology calls it conditioning. The Stoics called it virtue. Different language, same truth, You become what you practice. So, practice command every morning until calm becomes your default. Every time you repeat those words, I control my mind, you're not just speaking, you're programming. The brain learns through repetition and emotion. So when you say it with conviction, you carve that belief into your identity. Soon, chaos hits, and instead of panicking, your mind remembers control, not reaction. That's the Stoic edge, awareness trained into instinct. Plato said, the greatest victory is to conquer yourself, not once, but daily, every sunrise. You win or lose that battle in silence. Most people wake up and lose before the day even starts, not because they're weak, but because they're untrained. You're not them. You're building internal armor, breath by breath, command by command. You forge stability. No one can hand that to you. You earn it in the quiet moments, when it would be easier to scroll, drift, or sleep through your own potential. This isn't about perfection, it's about awareness. Even the most disciplined minds slip. You'll have mornings when you lose focus, when you scroll instead of center, when you react instead of respond. Don't shame yourself, correct yourself. The Stoics weren't chasing flawlessness, they were practicing return. Marcus Aurelius wrote, when you are jarred, immediately return to yourself. That's the practice, not to never fall, but to return faster each time. Awareness shortens recovery. The gap between distraction and redirection is where mastery grows. You catch the spiral sooner, breathe sooner, reset sooner. That's how discipline compounds. It's not built in grand gestures, it's built in small returns. Every time you notice and come back, you strengthen the muscle of control. You're not starting over, you're sharpening the blade. The longer you practice, the faster you rise. So, when you wake up tomorrow, don't aim to feel perfect, aim to feel present. Don't wait for motivation, build momentum. Discipline isn't emotional, it's mechanical. It's the act of showing up, regardless of mood. The Stoics understood that emotions are weather, actions are structure. You can't stop the rain, but you can build a roof. That's what your morning ritual is, a roof against the storm of distraction. Whether you feel tired, anxious, or uninspired, do it anyway. Sit, breathe, anchor. Speak your command, I control my mind. Because repetition without permission is chaos. Repetition with intention is mastery. Each day you do this, your threshold for chaos lowers, your clarity sharpens, and your willpower solidifies. This is how peace is earned, not by luck, but by labor. The world rewards the few who take their mornings seriously. Be one of them. There's a reason the Stoics valued mornings so deeply. They knew the tone of dawn becomes the tone of destiny. Seneca wrote, begin at once to live, and count each separate day as a separate life. Each sunrise is a new lifetime. You wake with a clean slate, yet most people immediately paint it with yesterday's chaos. Not you. You begin clean, deliberate, dangerous in your calm. You're not chasing control, you're creating it. Before the noise rises, you set the internal temperature. Calm doesn't mean passive, it means ready. It means you walk into your day already aligned with yourself. The undisciplined person drifts from one emotion to another. The Stoic moves with intent, every step an act of awareness. That's what turns ordinary mornings into mental warfare training. You either lead your energy or become consumed by it. Look around you, most people start their day already chasing something. Approval, comfort, distraction, validation. They wake up and sprint toward noise. Thinking motion means progress, but speed without direction is chaos. The Stoic path is different. You begin by standing still. You collect yourself before collecting tasks. You remember who you are before the world tells you what to be. That's not laziness, it's strategy. Clarity always beats panic. Marcus Aurelius began each morning reminding himself that the world would test him, but his response was his power. So when you wake, don't rush, don't grab your phone. Sit, breathe, command. This is your pre-battle ritual, your moment of stillness before engagement. Because when you start centered, you stay centered. You stop reacting to the day and start directing it. That's how a warrior of the mind moves. Calm, aware, and unstoppable. Calm isn't weakness. It's dominance disguised as stillness. The loudest person in the room is rarely the strongest, the one who can stay silent. Composed, unshaken. That's the real force. When you walk into your day with composure, you unsettle chaos. You shift the energy. That's what Stoics mastered. The art of remaining grounded while others lose control. You don't need to shout. prove, or rush. You need to own your presence. When your internal world is stable, your external world bends to it. People trust calm, they follow it. But calm doesn't come from luck, it's trained. Every morning is that training, the pause before the storm, the breath before the battle. Control yourself, and you control the room. Lose yourself, and you hand over power to noise. Your calm is your weapon, sharpen it daily. There's something magnetic about a person who carries peace like armor. They walk into chaos, and instead of absorbing it, they neutralize it. That's not mystery, it's mastery. It's the result of choosing self-command over emotional reaction. Every single morning, Marcus Aurelius said, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." That's the essence of discipline. Alignment between thought, word, and action. When your inner world is congruent, your outer world respects you. You don't need to announce your strength, you radiate it. Modern psychology calls this emotional regulation. The Stoics called it virtue. It's the ability to stay unmoved by insult, temptation, or noise. You're not suppressing emotion, you're mastering response. That's why real power is quiet. It doesn't need validation, it's too focused on direction. Kindness is one of the highest forms of discipline. Most people mistake aggression for strength, but harshness is easy, it's reaction. True strength is staying kind in a world that profits from cruelty. Marcus Aurelius said, "Kindness is invincible if it's sincere." That means mercy without weakness, gentleness without submission. It's the ability to face hostility and not mirror it. To meet chaos with composure, the Stoic doesn't avoid confrontation, he simply refuses to lose himself in it. That's power. When you can stay kind and firm at the same time, you become untouchable. You're no longer controlled by anger, ego, or fear. You lead through presence, not pressure. That's what people remember, not your words, but the energy you carry. Kindness rooted in strength is what separates the ordinary from the unbreakable. The modern world confuses kindness with weakness because it doesn't understand restraint. Anyone can lash out, mock, or dominate. It takes real command to stay composed, patient, and purposeful when provoked. Kindness isn't submission, it's control. It's you proving that your peace can't be stolen. Jung said, "Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darkness of others." You don't need to fight everyone's shadow, you just need to master your own. When you've seen your own chaos and learned to govern it, other people's noise loses power over you. That's Stoic empathy, understanding that everyone's fighting invisible battles, and you won't add to their storm. When you begin your day with this mindset, you stop reacting to people's moods and start influencing them instead. You become the calm that others unconsciously seek. Kindness is not softness, it's self-mastery in motion. Anyone can act tough when things are easy. But when tension rises, when someone disrespects you, when life throws its blows, that's where your discipline is tested. The undisciplined person reacts instantly, seeking to win the argument. The Stoic wins by refusing to lose control. Marcus Aurelius faced betrayal, yet wrote with compassion. That's not weakness, it's warriorship refined. Because when you can stay grounded while others lose their temper, you dominate the situation without lifting a finger. The most dangerous person in any room is the one who cannot be provoked. They operate from calm, not chaos. You want that. Then start training it every morning. Remind yourself, I will not let emotions steer me. I will steer myself. That's how modern strength looks. Composure forged through conscience. Every day you meet people who are drowning in their own storms. Anger, insecurity, jealousy, fear. Don't let their chaos become your cage. Socrates said, "Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle." That's not sentimentality, it's tactical wisdom. When you understand that most aggression comes from pain, you stop taking things personally. You start seeing through behavior and into cause. That shift gives you leverage, emotional control in a world ruled by reaction. Kindness, in this light, becomes a strategy of strength. It disarms hostility, confuses ego, and frees your mind from unnecessary conflict. You conserve energy for what actually matters, progress. So, when someone tests your patience today, breathe before you answer. Don't match their tone, master it. Let your calm be the authority in the room. That's Stoic leadership in action. Here's the truth. Every act of kindness is an act of power. It's proof that you can act with intention instead of impulse. Most people are controlled by emotion. You are controlled by principle. That's the difference between a reactor and a ruler. When you pause before responding, when you choose to understand instead of attack, you're demonstrating mastery over ego. That's not just moral, it's strategic. Because calm minds see opportunities angry ones miss. Marcus Aurelius led armies and empires, yet he reminded himself daily, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. That's the Stoic mission. Embody what you admire. Don't talk about discipline. Live it. Don't preach strength. Practice restraint. The world doesn't need louder voices. It needs steadier ones. Be the proof that calm doesn't mean passive. It means prepared. Kindness practiced daily transforms your presence. You stop entering rooms trying to get something and start showing up to give something. Clarity. Steadiness. Respect. People feel it even when you say nothing. That's influence without effort. Plato said, "Excellence is not an act, but a habit." The same applies to virtue. You don't need to feel kind to act kind. You act kind until it becomes who you are. Over time, it hardens into character. Calm. Precise. Unshakable. And yes, people may misunderstand you. They'll mistake patience for weakness, silence for indifference, discipline for coldness. Let them. You're not performing for approval. You're building alignment with your own values. The Stoics didn't seek applause. They sought integrity. Because the real reward isn't praise, it's power. The kind of power that can't be taken. Only built, one conscious choice at a time. Tomorrow morning, before the noise begins, center yourself. Sit still, breathe deep, and speak it. Kindness is my strength, not because you want to be liked, but because you want to stay powerful. You're not being gentle to please anyone. You're being steady to protect your peace. The world will always test your composure. People will project their pain, challenge your boundaries, and try to pull you into their chaos. But your job isn't to join their storm, it's to hold your ground. That's how Stoics won battles without shouting. They led through calm authority. When you stay unshaken, you set the tone for the entire room. Remember this. Chaos feeds on reaction, but starves in silence. Every calm breath you take weakens the grip of anger and strengthens your control. Calmness isn't surrender, it's strategy. Blink, and a week passes. Blink again, and a year's gone. That's how life slips. Not in grand moments, but in unnoticed mornings. You rush, react, repeat, and suddenly wonder, where did my time go? The Stoics warned us about this trap. Seneca wrote, "It's not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it. Every sunrise you rush through is one you'll never get back." Everything is temporary. The pressure, the stress, the success, even the calm. And that's not tragic. It's motivating, because impermanence gives value to effort. When you realize every moment is fleeting, you stop wasting them on trivial distractions. The Stoics called it memento mori. Remember, you must die. It's not a morbid thought, it's fuel. It wakes you up to the urgency of being alive now. When you remember that time is slipping through your fingers, your priorities shift. Trivial arguments, ego battles, endless scrolling, all of it becomes noise compared to the reality that this day will never come again. Plato said, "Time is the moving image of eternity." Think about that. Every second you waste is eternity's mirror dimming. Most people live as if they'll get a second chance at this exact morning. Presence isn't a luxury, it's survival. The Stoics practiced it daily because they knew how quickly everything fades. Health, opportunity, even breath. So stop waiting for the right moment. This is the moment, right here, right now. While you're reading, breathing, existing, that's all you ever truly own. Don't trade it for distraction. Pay attention, because this second will never return. Presence is a discipline. It's not something you stumble into, it's something you train. Your mind will always try to escape, to replay the past, to predict the future, to be anywhere but here. That's how anxiety breeds, in the gap between where you are and where your thoughts wander. But the Stoics trained their focus like soldiers. They called it autoraxia, a steady calm that can't be shaken by external noise. You can practice it too. Start by slowing down. Notice the taste of your coffee, the rhythm of your breath, the warmth of light on your face. These are not small things, they're the architecture of peace. Seneca said, "True happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence on the future." That's not just philosophy, it's a command to live awake, not absent. Presence doesn't mean ignoring reality, it means engaging with it completely. You still face deadlines, decisions, responsibilities, but you do them awake. You don't rush through tasks just to reach the next moment. You bring full attention to the one you're in. Because when you're fully present, even ordinary actions become extraordinary. You stop chasing the illusion of someday and start honoring today. Socrates warned, "How can you wonder your travels do you no good when you carry yourself with you?" You can't escape restlessness by changing locations. You have to change awareness, wherever you go. Bring yourself with intention. Life isn't waiting to begin. It's happening right now. The breath in your chest, the ground beneath your feet, that's your proof. You don't find peace later. You practice it here. You live it now. Everything you love, everything you fear, everything you chase, it all exists within the boundaries of this single moment. The future is theory. The past is memory. The present is power. That's where Stoicism meets modern psychology, in the realization that fulfillment isn't about control, it's about attention. The more you learn to see, the less you need to chase. So as you move through your day, carry this truth like armor. Peace is not found in the next moment. It's found in this one. Don't let it slip. Don't waste it, trying to relive what's gone or rush what's coming. Look around. Breathe. Appreciate. Everything is temporary. And that's what makes it sacred. You don't get this second again, so own it. Live it. And when the world tries to pull you off center, return to the command that started it all. I control my mind. If this message spoke to you, don't just nod and move on. Take action. Tomorrow morning, when you wake, before the world reaches for you. Reach for yourself. Breathe. Focus. Command your mind. That's where the change begins. Discipline is not built in one grand moment. It's built in small, silent victories like this one. You've got one life, one morning at a time. Use it. Drop a comment below and share the lesson that hit you hardest. Your words might help someone else start their transformation too. Thanks for listening. And remember, stay grounded, stay aware, and keep becoming stronger than yesterday. You're listening to Stoic Psychology.